Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. All right, final hour kicking off right now on this Thursday morning of May 21st. Thanks for hanging out with us and making us a part of your Friday Eve. Coming up, we'll get back to some more, a little more baseball Brewers talk and that. Brewers have the off day today before welcoming the Dodgers to American Family Field in a 3-game series starting tomorrow. Twins also picked up a win yesterday. They have the off day before they'll be taking on the Boston Red Sox. We'll get back to some more of your texts and comments on the video stream. But we're kicking off this hour, kicking off our Eau Claire Express weekly chats. And with Memorial Day, because usually going forward we're going to have our catch-ups on Monday. But Memorial Day on Monday and then the season opener, probably a little busy getting set for the game on Monday and that. So joining us in the studio is owner Craig Toycen.
Yeah, you could have me on Monday, but it'll just be the sound of me breathing in
You're
out
right,
of a
exactly.
paper bag, hyperventilating of everything that's got to be done. So thanks for having me.
You got it. How many years now?
This will be our fifth season. Yeah, the Express, this is season 21, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
5 years already for you? It's flying on by.
I know, it's flying by.
Wow. Still
the
feel like
gray hair keeps getting more and more, and
But does it feel like season's almost here, just days away?
The weather has not made it feel that way. That's for sure. Because I joked, sunburn on a baseball game Saturday, and long underwear on Tuesday night. Last night was a little bit nicer for baseball, but no. So it doesn't feel like it weather-wise, but you can start to feel that itch kind of come around again in January, and then February comes around, March, and now we're there. I'm ready now. As the youth seasons kind of start to wrap up the league play, and then high school seasons start to wrap up. It's it's time. So
exactly. Yeah. I know we had you on a little while ago. You've got a new GM. You've got some new dugouts this year too. So that's exciting to kind of see some new things. For this year
I think if you ask the guys at North and Memorial and the teams that have come in, the Chippewa Falls players that have come in as an away team, or Emmanuel Lutheran, I know, plays games there. So ask those guys what they think of the dugouts. I think you'll hear pretty good feedback. And I've told Dale, I've told Coach Jack Donahue that obviously pay is going to go down this year now that you're in the shade all summer. It's a lot more enjoyable experience because they're fantastic dugouts. I mean, they were designed off of what a major league dugout is. So, I mean, much better viewing, much more comfortable, protected from the elements, safer dugouts. So they're awesome design. So
definitely. So how's Jake been doing on the job here, getting set for the year too? So,
He's good. It's been good to see him get settled in, and interns started on Monday, and some of our season-long staff that works us a little bit more full-time during the season started as well a week ago. So it's been great to have everybody start to get there and really start to see the collaboration. Because I know, Monday he would have felt the same way that I am going to feel on Monday, this coming Monday, of just like, oh my God, we have so much to get done. We're never going to get this done in time. And now, a couple of days in, you see how quickly those interns learn to swim and what they can accomplish. It's pretty awesome.
And, I mean, the players coming in right away this weekend, too. There's really not any breathing room for that.
No, practice Saturday night at 6:30. So I've got 2 players coming to my house as well. So excited to get them. I think one's coming Friday night, and then the other's coming Saturday during the day. So it'll be fun to have them get settled in and get moved in.
Yeah, and I know you got coming over to the team. We got even some local players coming back too.
Some local returning players, and then Warren Bovey from Cadott is coming to play for us this year from the University of St. Thomas. So pretty cool to see that happen. Excited to see him get a chance, and it's always awesome to see the hometown guys, just because their friends are coming, their families coming, and then just people who've watched them play growing up. So it's always cool to see that stuff.
And that when they were kids, they were probably watching Express games too, and now they get to suit up and play for them.
Can't wait like the night we have like the Cadott Little League there.
Yeah,
to see that. So that's gonna be awesome.
And I know that's you brought the Little League, and it's a little bit different this year too, because I know for our team it's going to be coming up on the 31st, but it's the organization as a whole too. So you're gonna have a lot of teams there too. So that's going to be really fun.
That was an idea of Dale's in the off season here. We've been really glad to jump on that, and what's been great is the Little Leagues have jumped on it as well. So we always have had a team of the night in the past. That's been fun. They get out in the field and do stuff. but we also want to promote Little League as a whole and organizations as a whole. So, all of Eau Claire baseball, all, the whole organization is coming, the whole Elk Mound, the whole, Seymour, the whole,
Nationals,
Halley, National. Yeah, I mean, the whole organization has their night. So that's really cool to see that they can come out as a group. And that's kind of the fun thing because you have siblings in the same leagues and things like that. So
exactly.
And it's not just baseball, it's softball programs too. So awesome to get everybody involved.
Absolutely. I want to go off the path here for a little bit just because I want to get your thoughts on this. The Northwoods League getting a team for the Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing, is it?
It's been talked about for a while, and we are very excited. The All-Star Game is there this year, so I am going to make my way down for that. I was there a couple years ago with my older son when he played a tournament down there, and my younger son is playing a tournament down there now this summer as well. And we're going to detour down to Copeland Park where lacrosse plays because my older son plays there the night before, so then we can cut our drive in half. But Field of Dreams has been obviously kind of the mecca of baseball, at least in the Midwest, for ever since the movie came out in 88, 89, whenever it was. And it's a special place, not just for baseball fans, but for families and the connection between fathers and sons down there. So to have a team down there full time is great. And I can't wait to be down there again with my sons and have a chance to play catch again on that field because it's one of the more moving experiences you can have as a father. So to have all these people come in, because there's tournaments down there that they have added so many Little League fields and so many full-size fields down there that they have just a huge complex. The farm itself is still there and special, but an amazing Major League field. So excited to get down there and check it out again and see what that looks like all finished because it's been a couple years since I've been there. But we'll see. Yeah, so it sounds like the Rochester team might be moving that direction.
Okay.
We'll see how it all shapes up, but great ownership group, so I'm excited to work with them.
Yeah, that's definitely on my bucket list. I want to take Hudson down there and
it's
just
worth
play
the
catch.
Travel,
yeah. Every time I tune on Field of Dreams, I feel like when I was younger compared to what it is now, the movie and the feeling is completely different now that you have a son and all that. Yep. So it's
it's one of those. It's been out so long, you view it as a child first, and you see it from that perspective, and then as you grow older and feel those feelings as a father, it's a movie that moves with you through the course of your life.
Yep, and it's cool when Hudson's like, "So was Shoeless Joe Jackson a real player, Dad?" Then you get to tell the story and all that stuff too. So it's
not only was he real, Moonlight Graham was real too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's really cool. So, but your season kicks off Monday. You got the Fond du Lac coming to town.
Yeah, the Dock Spiders have not played them in a long time. Not since I've been involved, if ever. So. Excited to have some more Wisconsin teams come this direction, and we can go play them. It's something we've talked about at a league level for quite a while, that we've got rivals built in right here in the state if we can play them, and we're right on the eastern edge of that Great Plains division, and they're kind of on the, Wausau's on that western edge of the Great Lakes division. So glad to have some crossover games, playing Fond du Lac this year, playing Wausau, playing Madison, but glad to have Fond du Lac come in right away this year.
Yeah, definitely. So first two games, Monday, Tuesday. If you stop by, it's Midwest Family Broadcasting Night. Got the Magnet schedules, which I'm holding one right here. Sweet designs on there too. I like the new colors; they really pop up from last year.
You're two of those. I love them. Still loving them. So.
Yeah, I see the Facebook posts and such with some swag in that, and you know me about swag, so
That's
definitely gonna have to check that out and that. So then you hit the road to Rochester, Thunder Bay right away early on for a couple games.
Go visit the guys up north right away.
Yep. I don't know. Is it? You don't have time to go check out a Blue Jays game with Dalton or anything up there, probably.
I'm fortunate this year. I have a business trip I have to take out to Boston for the car dealership here in June, and Toronto happens to be playing the Red Sox at that time. So
nice.
I've told my brother, I hope you're okay that we're going to we're going to go to a Red Sox game because I'm going to drag you along. So,
right.
Yeah. So I get to go do that. So
that's really cool. So. I mean, you've had a lot of Express alum this year so far, making some impacts in Major League too. Griffin Jackson, Dalton, of course, too. So that's got to be fun to see.
It's just fun to see the Northwoods League as a whole. When you look at what Louis Varlin's done and Pete Alonso continues to do. Weatherholt with St. Louis. I mean, there's just been a lot of impact players that have come out of this league, whether it's been with Express guys or just league wide.
Looking at end of May and the June schedule too. You only got one built-in off day there, so there's a lot of baseball to be played. Just June 12th right now is your off day. So, what kind of jumps out to you from your seat when you look at that schedule for end of May and the full month of June?
Yeah, it's 2 quick home games and then on the road the rest of May until we come back next Sunday, the 31st. So it's nice to kind of get a couple games under our belt just as an organization to make sure we're getting our systems down. That first game is always a tough one because we have a huge crowd always, and it's a blast. But everyone's new in their position. Not everybody, but a lot of people are new in their position. So we always say, anyone put in an event, as long as the customers have a good time, that's all that matters at the end of the day. We'll figure the rest of it out. So nice to get that stuff done right away so we can have that experience, and then the team goes on the road. And I always like to have an early road trip with the players because nothing bonds a team together like a road trip. So that'll be the cool thing, and we'll start to see some more of the full-time guys come in as the summer starts up here. But a road trip to start things off, especially if you can get a couple wins under your belt, goes a long ways to building a great team for the summer because there's no sport that requires chemistry like baseball. There's hitting is as contagious as the hantavirus,
Right, yeah, right. So looking at we've seen some of the players kind of coming in. We talked a little bit about it with some of the local ones and such, and obviously we're probably going to be waiting for more players until their collegiate seasons are done. But from the players that are coming in, what can you tell us about it? What, maybe a little bit of a scouting report. How excited are you about the potential for some of these kids?
We don't get a lot of high school players in the Northwoods League. We had one last year that played for us out of Arizona named Mikey Munoz. Excited to have him back. Young guy, and you'd never guess, this guy's a high-level college baseball player when you see him because just a young, unassuming, and I'm going to say kid because he's 18 years old, but cannon for an arm behind the plate. So excited to have him back for a second year. And just a really nice kid. His host mom speaks just glowingly about what a nice kid he is. So excited to see him back behind the dish again. And then we got some other high school kids coming in. We've got Jace Madisonski coming from Hudson. I think we'll get a chance to see him for a little while before he gets. I think he's going to get drafted here pretty quickly. So
wow.
He is a special talent, and anybody who's got a chance to watch any Big Rivers games this year, he is an amazing player. Headed to Auburn next year to play baseball, again, assuming the draft numbers don't come too high for him.
Right.
But he's great. And then we always have our relationship with Stanford, so we have Stanford guys coming across. They always are impact players. One of our players last year, J.J. Moran's having a great year for Stanford. So we always have to see kind of who those guys are going to be when they come in. But you can go watch any Stanford game and know you're going to see Express guys up and down the lineup, so we appreciate that relationship.
Intern Carter sitting there nodding too, so he must have broadcasted some of his games.
He was the Prep Report Player of the Month nationally last month. That's how significant of an athlete he is, and if you watch him on the basketball court too, he takes great pride in slamming it down in front of the team. So
that's awesome.
A good competitor.
I gotta bring this up too because this was, it's been announced and such, but even like concerts going on at Carson Park. I know I had texted you when I was watching a Brewers game. I'm like, hey, Bonavere's on there talking about Express baseball and such on there too. So that's
and he was at the ballpark yesterday for a press conference talking about what his feelings for the festival are and why he chose Carson Park. So sure appreciate that relationship. I've known Justin. We were kind of in matching social groups for a while when we were younger, and he's just a good man and just a great ambassador for the city of Eau Claire and all that Eau Claire encompasses. And it's cool to have that crossover between sports and music, and he's really one who has embraced sports throughout his life as well as being a phenomenally talented musician. So I'm really excited to see that come together. I appreciate that he loves the history of Carson Park and how special that grounds is. Not just the stadium, but the whole park as a whole. It's a special place, and I'm excited for people to be able to come see that here in July, and we're glad to be a small part of it. And it took work on our part to get our schedule opened up to make sure it could happen, because a festival won't be 2 days, but it's 10 days, that you need to have spacing to have this happen. So it changed our schedule quite a bit, but we want to do what we can to make the summer as good as we can for Eau Claire.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned the interns. I see on Facebook that you guys announced. Looks like a lot of local kiddos
we had some great local applicants this year, and I think that's a real testament to what goes on here in Eau Claire and Stout and River Falls. And we've got great universities, creating great workers in the workforce. That when they get into an interview and go toe-to-toe with anybody nationally, we're going to love to choose local people.
Right. And even a new assistant GM and community engagement coordinator. So lots of new faces coming over.
Some new faces, but Northwoods League experience definitely. And Brenna worked with us last year, was an intern. So it's cool to see people, get that experience and come back to the organization. And then, the ultimate goal is they spread their wings and go national, do something else. Our video production intern is working for the Miami Heat this year. So it's cool to see, I said, the stuff that they do. And other video production interns are working at the ESPN now, and we got interns with the Minnesota Twins. I think some with the New York Mets that are now with them. So it's awesome. It's a stepping stone.
Absolutely. So Whiffley Zone back this year too?
Whiffley Zone is back, yeah. So got some things to figure out there, what we're doing with some building stuff, but the bar will be back. We actually have a full liquor license this year, so that is a change from what we had in the past. We'll be serving Cutwater out there as an available product. That'll also be on the fan deck. It changes the ticket use a little bit, but that's a nice addition out there. We serve an ice cream out in the Whiffley Zone again, and we continue to grow that area and make that more of a hangout crowd out there. And then I sing, great view of the video board.
Yep.
And the sun is not shining right on you, which I'm very aware of every time I walk out to the fan deck.
Exactly. Anything else new that you want to kind of throw out there for listeners?
With the video board, with the WMB Financial Video Board, we've got a live camera this year. So we will be able to be going around the ballpark and shooting live footage, being up on the video board. So I've joked to people, it's 9 innings of kiss cam. I was just going to say, yeah. We're going to make it as awkward as possible. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Sons and moms just really make the kids uncomfortable. So
kids are going to love that.
All sorts of stuff. So it'll be cool.
Oh, kids are going to love that as soon as they're on there. Heck yeah, especially when it's the kids' day.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a good one. So, tickets, what's the best way? I always want to bring this up every year, just you know, for everybody listening. What is the best way to get tickets?
Yep. Make sure if you are buying online, you are going to eauclaireexpress.com or the Northwoods League website. It happens every year where a third-party site will buy our tickets and then sell them to somebody, and it's at a highly marked-up rate. eauclaireexpress.com is our website. Make sure you're going to them. You can always call our office or buy them on the same day as the game. But if you're buying them online, it's got to be eauclaireexpress.com.
Mm-hmm. And just because this will be the first time we get to chat with you, until next time with your upcoming home games, of course, the magnet schedule. You got Faith Night presented by Regis Catholic Schools in partnership with Collective Arts, too. So that's coming up on Sunday's game.
Yeah.
So, and then looking ahead, June 10th, Cancer Survivors Night presented by Mayo Clinic Health Systems. And then the Can Koozie giveaway on June 14th.
Yeah, so. And then we also have Tyler's Amazing Balancing Act on June 17th.
Always popular, yep.
We have him coming for a day-night doubleheader, so it'll be fun to have him in the day for Kids Day and then coming back that evening as well. So.
And something new that we're going to be doing here, too, is the Tailgate Thursdays for a few of our games. So put that on the docket, the first one, June 11th. I'll be over there with the Toycen Ford Mobile Man Cave and doing a little tailgating. Right before the game. So
perfect.
It should be a lot of fun too.
Absolutely.
So looking forward to that. All right, what's fifth year, man? What's do you have goals? What are you looking forward to? We need to get back in the
playoffs. A little bit of a drought there, so pressure's on Dale. We got to get back in the playoffs. But, I just want to keep growing the organization, and I think this year we've really put an emphasis on community involvement. So that's been a lot of fun to work with some organizations outside of our own organization on how we can better the city of Eau Claire and better, people's lives here. And I think the Little League stuff's been a great expansion of how we can sponsor those and be a part of things. And different nonprofits coming to games looking for ways to raise awareness, to raise funds. So excited for that kind of stuff. But I love going to games, not only watching the baseball, but just walking around the stadium and talking to people. So excited to get back and hanging out with 1,500 of my favorite people every night.
I love the kids' interactions with the players and chasing down the foul balls and the race to get the foul ball.
Yeah, post game, watching players sign autographs for kids along the dugout there is one of my favorite parts of it, which is awesome.
Absolutely. Well, and reminder, too, now that we are in the season every week, we've got the All Aboard, the Eau Claire Express podcast. So episodes will be up weekly. That is available wherever you get your podcasts, like Apple or Spotify. So, Craig, thanks for joining us this morning and hanging out and previewing the upcoming season. We're a couple days away, man.
Yeah, summer is here. That's the beauty of it.
Exactly. So best of luck. Looking forward to hanging out at the ballpark with you quite a bit this summer, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You got it. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Back with plenty more coming up after these few words. Coming up tomorrow at the Brewing Project in downtown Eau Claire is the 715 Hawaiian Shirt Hullabaloo. 5 p.m. Brewing Project, Hawaiian Shirt Party, summer kickoff. There's going to be some food trucks over there. Starts at 5 p.m. until dark. And the Torch Sisters are going to be there at dusk for a special fire dance. So come hungry because Rolling Smoke will be serving up some pulled Hawaiian pulled pork while Smokescreen, El Ganco, and Sweet Roll Truck will be bringing out plenty to chomp on as well. Good food, cold drinks, in a Hawaiian shirt party that you do not want to miss. Again, that is happening tomorrow night, Friday, 5 p.m. till dark at the Brewing Project in Eau Claire. Intern, are we going to see you at Carson Park for some Express games this summer?
Probably a couple.
Attaboy. So, you know about the one kid from Hudson? Did you broadcast one of his games?
I haven't. Okay. But he is. So he won Player of the Month, like he said, for prep baseball in April. He hit 605 with a 2.088 OPS, 27 RBI, and 8 home runs in 1 month. He's committed to Auburn, likely going to get drafted in the second round of the draft. This kid's insane.
Wow.
And I haven't seen him in person, but Memorial went up to Hudson, and Alex Johnson threw an incredible game, 6 innings. Memorial's up 1-0, bottom of the 7th, and this kid hit a walk-off grand slam. So.
Wow. So he's good.
Very.
He's good. So,
yeah, one of the best prospects Wisconsin's had in a long time.
That's amazing. So, wow. All right. This adds a little bit more excitement to it, too. So, whew. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, so we were talking a little bit about Rogers and such. And there's going to be a time for this and that, but Lance Zierlein, he's one of the guys that I really follow his work a lot. He, NFL.com. So when you get set for the draft and you look at those draft profiles on NFL.com, Lance is the one who does all that. And he just tweeted this out. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest overall thrower of the football I have ever seen. There are others, but his combination of zip, release quickness, accuracy, touch, placement, spatial awareness, arm angles, off-platform talent, and throwing talent on the move separate him. This is where I think then we get into this whole GOAT conversation, where, again, it defines how do you find the greatest quarterback of all time? Because you hear, like, I respect the heck out of his Lance because this dude knows what and I think you would ask a lot of people, is Aaron Rodgers the most talented quarterback you've seen? I think a lot of people would say yes. Not everybody, but a lot of people would say yes. But again, it goes to so for some people might say, well, doesn't that mean he's the best quarterback? Is he the greatest quarterback of all time? And again, I think that's why we always have this debate, because for everybody it might be a little bit different. Should the greatest be the physically most athletic, gifted quarterback, or does championships matter? And how much should championships matter? Because Tom Brady obviously is the GOAT for many, if not the majority, because of the rings. But if you take away the rings and you put Rodgers and Brady next to each other, who are you picking? You're probably picking Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
That's why, to me, the whole GOAT and greatest conversation debate to me is always so interesting, because it's so dependent on what the individual person, how they define GOAT, like how much of each element do you put more of an emphasis on, right? Mm-hmm. You know, Bart Starr's got 5 championships. Bart Starr wasn't the most athletic quarterback either. So for some people, they may say Aaron's the best because physically most athletic quarterback they've ever seen. Some will go straight up championships, and that's fine. But that's why, to me, it's always kind of interesting to get everybody's opinion on it, because it kind of just like, okay, that's what you value more, or you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that, in my opinion, Aaron Rodgers is the most talented thrower we've ever seen in the NFL. But I don't think he's the greatest of all time because, like you said, the championships. And I think... So obviously Brady had incredible defenses when he won the Super Bowls and had a very talented offense with James White and Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman and all those guys, Danny Amendola. But I think you can't just take away what he did. And like for me, it's somewhere in the middle of most talented of all time and most rings. I think you have to be in the middle. Mm-hmm. And Rodgers one isn't enough. He doesn't have enough. He should have had more in Green Bay, and he didn't. So, in my opinion, he can't be the greatest of all time, but he's definitely the most gifted player of all time.
This is where I'm going to play devil's advocate comes in. And I'm not saying I agree with it, but I like to go different sides. If we use the narrative that football is the ultimate team sport, is it Aaron Rodgers' fault he only has one?
So here's where, as a Packer fan, I would like to point to the NFC Championship game. And we can put that on Kevin King because we all know he decided not to play. But Aaron Rodgers at the end of playoff games like to focus on a particular player, and it cost us several times.
Yep.
The one I can think of is 13-10 loss to the 49ers.
Alan Lazard was wide open, and he went to Devontae Adams. Yep.
A game we never should have lost, and frankly, quite embarrassing that we only scored 10 points. And so it is a team game, but in my personal opinion, our team has done enough to allow us to have a chance at the end, and then that's where you see the quarterback take over. That's where you see Tom Brady go win the rings. Aaron Rodgers never really did that. He did that in 2010. Our defense got him a stop, and he went and put it away. He hasn't done that ever since, and Tom Brady did. And so that's kind of the difference I see.
I think that's a good point. You look at, I think you can make the case that some of Rodgers' Packers teams, from a talent perspective, might have been more talented than some of those Patriots, Tom Brady's teams, right? Especially from a playmaking standpoint, receivers. Yes, Gronk, Hall of Famer, Edelman, really good. But you're talking Devontae. You're talking some, like, from a group as a whole, there was some really good ones. Jordy, Devontae, Randall Cobb, all together. And that. The one play that bugs me the most about that 49ers one, though, is why did Aaron Jones decide to cut in instead of going straight or going out? Like, why, dude? Why did you do that, man? Because, oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, that one just bugs me. That one, that's a big one. Like, why did you just keep running?
But, all throughout Rodgers' career, onside kick, just field the onside kick and we're in a Super Bowl. And it's like, that's not Rodgers' fault, but at the same time, if that was Brady, would it be that close?
Yeah.
And we'll never know.
Yep.
You can't really compare the talent because it was different times, but it's got to be, for me, it's somewhere in the middle between rings and talent.
That's why I always joke I want to come up with that formula. Like Pro Football Focus has grades and all. I want to come up with the formula that determines who's the GOAT. Yeah. And it takes little bits here and there.
Earn some money.
Right, yeah. It's like, I could come up with it and everybody would, not everybody, but some people are like, oh, okay, there's a formula. What are you going to do? Like, it's my formula. You whatever. It's my numbers that I came up with. I could sell it.
It's like Moneyball, right?
Yeah,
write a book.
Yeah, exactly. Pro Football Focus, they came up with their own formula. I can come up with ours. I just don't want to do that because I hate math. So, but all right, let's take a quick break. And I just think that's kind of it's a fascinating discussion between talent and numbers, right? It's talent and numbers. Because, man, I could really go in the weeds here then. Eli Manning's got 2 Super Bowls, but he's not in the Hall of Fame, but he's not the most talented. But you know what it's just, you could go so many different directions in this thing. Phillip Rivers might be in the Hall of Fame before Eli Manning, and he doesn't have a ring.
Huh?
Yeah,
Bill Belichick's not in the Hall of Fame.
That's that too. Yeah. Wow. All right. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after these few words. Click on that. What's that? There's a new ace atop the latest. Yeah, I got to see who this starting pitching power rank. Christopher Sanchez is one. Okay, that's cute. Okay, Jacob Mizorowski's number 2. All right. Just want to make sure that he's at least up there. Moved up from 7 to 2. Okay. Says Sanchez isn't the only hurler yet to be scored upon this month. Mizorowski touts the third longest scoreless inning streak in the majors at 24 1/3. Following 6 spotless innings at Wrigley Field on Tuesday, the flame-throwing righty leads the majors with 88 strikeouts and a 39.3% strikeout rate. He's dominating with pure heat. His average fastball velocity is up to 99.7 miles per hour. And as MLB.com's Mike Petrillo explored earlier this week, the Miz may very well be the hardest-throwing starting pitcher to ever live. Among the absurdities, Mizorowski has thrown 254 pitches, 100-plus miles per hour. The second and third-place finishers on that list have just thrown 265 pitches, 100 miles per hour combined. That's just... I'm not a doctor. I'm going to try to ask this to Dr. Crow tomorrow. Like, through looking at those numbers for an orthopedic person, how concerned would he be this can't be normal.
No.
That can't be normal. The wear on that arm, right? I mean, and I think this is the other part though too. A lot of it does come from lower body. If you pitch properly, a lot of your stuff is going to come from your lower body, but still, that's got to be a lot of torque on that thing.
Yeah.
What's the rest of the list look like? Okay, Cam from the Yankees, Shohei. Okay, cool. Paul Skeens 5. That's okay. Chris Sale 6. Come on, where's Kyle Harrison? Chase Burns. All right, Zach Wheeler. Whatever. Dylan Cease. Bogus.
I'm surprised Davis Martin is 10.
Yeah. All right, well, Kyle Harrison will get his due. He keeps up with this. Mm-hmm. He'll get his due, for sure. For sure. I don't think Kyle Harrison, somebody had asked, is he eligible for Rookie of the Year? I'm not sure. Maybe? I don't know. I'm not. Let me see if I can find the NL Rookie of the Year odds. Well, he's not even up there on odds, but I'm not sure. Not eligible. He officially exceeded. Okay, during the 2024. Jeez. He made his LB. Okay.
He pitched 124 in a third innings in 24.
All right. Okay. He seems like he should be a rookie.
He does.
But he pitched 124 innings, 24 starts in 2024.
I wonder what his stats
the Giants, right? Yeah. What were his stats that year? Because he seems like he should just be this newcomer. All right. Next one, the baseball reference. There you go. Well, that's minor league, though. Man, they don't even... See, it's even hard to find. Kyle Harrison. There we go. Maybe go back to 2024. Can we switch? Man. All right. How about click on this? There we go. 2024. So 24 games, 4.56 ERA, 7-7. All right. I'll be honest. That surprises me. I did not know he pitched for. We knew he was with the Giants for a little bit, but 124. Okay. Well, again, pitching lab for the Brewers doing wonders to resurrect some careers. Jeez, bottle that juice, whatever it is that they've got over there, and lock it up. Don't sell it. Lock it up. Because whatever they did with Quinn Priester last year, whatever they're doing with Kyle Harrison this year, lock it up. And don't give it away. That's the secret. Put it in the book of secrets with all the alien info and JFK stuff. That's top secrets. Man. All right, there's your answer. No, he's not eligible. Not eligible. Because I know Logan Henderson before the season was getting talked about as some potential Rookie of the Year, but he's not going to get
unless he starts to pitch more.
Yeah, and so the NL just Rookie of the Year odds. I think Connor's up there. All right, this was 3 days ago from ESPN, the odds tracker. MVPs are no surprise. Judge and Ohtani. AL Rookie of the Year or NL. Okay, Nolan McLean. That makes sense. I was wondering where Connor was. Connor Griffin is on there as third. Sal Stewart's fourth. Logan Henderson does have 60-1 odds. So, hey, it's something.
If he gets innings, he could win it.
You think so?
He's just got to get innings. I think next year he could be the best 3 option in the MLB.
There's a lot of representation in the NL Central here when you kind of look at it too. Because you got JJ from the Cardinals, you got Connor on there too from the Pirates, and then Stewart from the Reds. A lot of young talent in the NL Central going forward. Did I see? Yeah, O'Neal Cruz is an MVP candidate or an MVP favorite. I mean, 10 home runs and 259, but did we forget about opening day and his play in the outfield too? That was atrocious. Kyle Schwarber, this dude, 20 home runs already. Kyle Schwarber is such a weird player for me. Leadoff hitter, power hitter, crappy average, but OPS is always up there.
And no defense.
Yeah. That is such a... Maybe it's just my old school mindset still, but I would love Kyle Schwarber on the Brewers for a power point, but it's like you're only going to get home run or out. But, jeez, this is first in home runs at 20, seventh in RBIs at 36. He is third in OPS at 980, 126th in batting average at 230. Unreal. Because the talk's like 60-some home runs for him this year.
That's insane. Brewers may not get to 60 home runs this year.
Okay, do the Brewers get to 100 home runs this year?
No.
No?
No, I've not. No.
Don't think so?
There's still 114 games left. We're at 33. They're like bound for a game where they hit like 5.
Oof. 5 in a game?
I don't know. Brewers always seem to have one game every year where they just hit a ton.
So they hit last year. The Brewers hit 166 last year. The fewest was the Pirates at 117. 2024, fewest was the White Sox at 133.
I think they get over 100, but it's...
Do they get 120? Do we put the line at 120?
I do think they get over 120. Just
because if you do it by quarter, it's about 30 per quarter, so that's about 120.
Yeah, I do think they get over. That's a good line. 120.
Right? What is the fewest amount of home runs hit in a season? Hit by a team in a season. What do we got here? Oh, I'm not talking about the 1908. The fewest home runs hit by a Major League Baseball team in a single season is 3, achieved by the 1908 Chicago White Sox. Let's do more modern era. 79 Houston Astros, 49.
Oh, wow.
The 79 Houston Astros, 49. Wow.
The Brewers hit not enough home runs, so much so that there's an article written about it.
History says you can't score runs without power. This team is proving that wrong. Oh, that was just posted up a few minutes ago. Brewers, yeah. Look at that. Runs scored per game. Brewers have the 4th best, 5.04, 33 home runs. The 3 teams ahead of them, double the amount of home runs.
It doesn't even seem like they're scoring that many runs, though, which is interesting.
It's because it's not sexy. It's not by the home run ball. That's it. Go back up to that. So the Nationals are scoring the most runs per game, 5.58. They have 61 home runs. The Braves are next, 5.34, 69 home runs. Dodgers, 5.14, 66 home runs. Brewers, 5.04, 33. And the next team that has averaging 5 runs is the Yankees, 73 home runs. That's funny. That's awesome, actually. But doesn't that also show, hey, we know what our limits are. This is what we got to do to score runs, instead of just trying to force something and trying to, kind of get stuck in your ways. Like, analytics tells us we got to hit home runs, so we're going to try to hit home runs.
Yeah.
Do you give credit? Is this a Pat Murphy thing?
I think so. I mean,
like, this is the guys I got. This is what we're going to do then.
I think it's just what he's been given, and he's had to adapt. And I don't think Counsell would have adapted this way. And now he's trying with the Cubs, and they don't have the roster to do it this way. So get him on, get him over, get him in is working.
You put those numbers like that. That's funny to see.
It's insane.
It also could be frustrating, too, because we'll see if that plays out in the postseason again. That was a question last year in the postseason, and it sure looks like we're going to get that same question again this year. So, all right, we got to take a quick break because we're running out of time and we got to do some picks. So we'll be right back after these quick words. All right, let's jump right into it because we only got a few minutes. Let's do some picks here. Start off Game 2 of the Eastern Conference NBA Finals. Cleveland, New York. Who you got?
Knicks.
I'll go Knicks, too, to take a 2-0 lead. Montreal, Carolina, Game 1.
Carolina.
I'll go Carolina, too. Just a few baseball games. So I guess, we got time. Cleveland at Detroit.
Detroit.
I'm going to go Tigers. Pittsburgh, St. Louis.
Pittsburgh.
Please, Pittsburgh. Okay, get another win like you did last night. Help the standings a little bit. Mets, Washington.
Mets.
Yeah, I'll go Mets, too. Let's do Braves and the Marlins.
Marlins.
I'm going to go Braves. Let's do Toronto and the Yankees.
Toronto.
I'll go Yankees. Athletics and the Los Angeles Angels.
Angels.
I'll go Athletics, the first place Athletics. Colorado at Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah, I'll go Arizona, too. So, I'll do mine for tomorrow, but since you're out, how many wins for the Brewers against the Dodgers?
1.
You poo-poo.
Yeah, I called a sweep versus the Twins. It was 1 game short. See, I don't love their pitching. I think they bounce back and sweep the Cardinals. I'll say that right now, but I think they may struggle this weekend.
To be fair, too, every game's important, but the Cubs series is more important than the Dodgers, right? So, got that for division standings and such. Yeah. So if they had to throw out their best ones for the Cubs one, not that it was on purpose, it just worked out that way, but still it.
They did. I do think they set it up that way because they had 2 spot starts right before the series.
Yeah.
One by Coleman Crow, the other, who was the other? The other one
Robert Gasser.
Yeah, Gasser. Yep. So I think they set that up purposely for the Cubs.
And Cubs series division games, a little bit more important.
It worked.
And hey, who cares? If we lose, if we only win 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers, we swept the Dodgers last year in the regular season. How'd that work out?
Yeah, exactly.
So we can't do the same thing this year.
Yeah.
Be a little superstitious. I'd be more concerned about the Brewers if we sweep the Dodgers. I'm let's just put that in our mindset heading into this weekend. I'd be more worried about that because it happened last year, and Dodgers enacted some revenge on us. Not worried about that with the Cubs, just because the Cubs don't know how to win. So
yes, wow, yes.
I want to know from Cubs fans how are they as frustrated as what the fans sure sounded like during those games? How were those Green Bay Sox chants, by the way? How'd that work out?
Yeah.
How'd that work out? But I saw some people on Twitter trying to compare it to the World Series team, the difference between the World Series team and this team. You had players like Rizzo and those guys that wouldn't, they took it really serious, wouldn't allow something like that to happen, where they were saying this team gets swept and it doesn't even look like it bothers them. It's just another game.
I think that's manager. I do. I really do. And credit to him. He's had a good career, but Council takes every game like it's the same, and it's not. These are divisional games. They matter a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. It'll be, let's say, Brewers Cubs again in the postseason, and let's say the Brewers beat the Cubs again. I'm curious to see what happens with Craig Counsell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if something is maybe a decision to be made.
Yeah.
I don't know. But all right. I only got a minute left to the top of the hour. So tomorrow we'll catch up with Dr. Crow. I'll definitely ask him about Jacob Mizorowski just to kind of get the sense of that. We'll do some local sports roundup. I know the updated softball brackets, the rest of Division 1 are out. Chippewa Falls gets a 2 seed. North was a 10 and Memorial is 11. So Brandon Berg will join us to break down the latest and greatest, and local sports baseball brackets are also out there too. You going to be doing any baseball playoff games? Possibly, maybe?
A couple, yeah. Just got to throw out Memorial beat North last night. Just got to throw that out there.
Even at 1-1, right? Yeah. Yep. So we're a North family, so you be quiet.
Yeah, 1-0.
I only say North family because that's right now the school district that Hudson will be going to. So, but that's the crosstown over at Carson Park, 1-1. But so Brandon will break it all down for us coming your way tomorrow. All right, have a good rest of your Thursday. We'll be back at it to wrap up